All right, y'all. I'm gonna end this episode like I always do, showing love and shouting out. And today I want to shout out Tony Snell. Tony Snell. Okay. If you don't know who Tony Snell is he's a professional basketball player. He played numerous years in the NBA. Okay. And this brother was recently diagnosed with autism. He was diagnosed with autism. An NBA player. It was mind blowing for me. Y'all know, if you follow me, you know that my son has autism. Okay, I'm an autism dad. My son Amari. Shout out to my Mr. Bear. Okay. But when you think about autism, you would not think that an NBA player has it. Now he ended up finding out that he has it because his son was diagnosed with it, and his son was doing many of the same things that my son does. Something we call stimming, which is basically, doing various movements or gestures and shit like that, stimulate themselves. Like my son would hand flap or jump up and down, things of that nature, run back and forth. Okay. His son was carrying around numerous objects. Uh, Tony Snell's wife said like he would carry around a bunch of different things. You can see it in the video, his Today Show interview. You see the baby carrying around a whole bunch of toys, but then he got the basketball in his hand. Uh, with my son, speech is a problem. But see, once Tony Snell's son was diagnosed, he started to think about himself and say, "Well, I've always felt different." And then he ended up getting diagnosed. Now, it was just so mind blowing because, like, I played high school basketball. I coached high school basketball. Uh, like when I go out and exercise and in a driveway and shoot ball, if my son is out there with me, if I try to throw the ball to him, he runs away from it. So to think that a guy who made it to the league has what my baby has, it's crazy. But it goes back to what I continuously try to tell people. I was just on Queen Kiki's Damn Shame podcast. Shout out to that queen. Uh, and this came up, and I was talking about how it's autism spectrum disorder. And that spectrum part is so key because this condition that is called autism varies so widely that you can have people on there who are completely nonverbal, people who cannot clean themselves, brush their own teeth, people who harm themselves. You can have people on there on that part of the spectrum. You can have an NBA player on there. So bewildering, man. Like, I just wish we had some people in power who really gave a fuck about this issue and would say, we're gonna pledge, we're gonna appropriate this amount of money to get something done, and we're gonna research this thing. We're really gonna dive head first into this thing because it's so fucking prevalent. It is so prevalent. No matter where I am, if I ask if you know a child with autism, somebody in the room raises their hand. And I can be in a room with no more than 30. Somebody's going to raise their hand, usually multiple people. Is that prevalent? But I want to shout out Tony Snell and his wife. Seems like they caught it early. They did what you're supposed to do. When it comes to his son. And as he said for himself, it gave him some kind of clarity about who he is. Clarity. It's something that we all search for in the autism community because it's still a condition that we ultimately know so little about. But I know one thing. I love my son. I love my son. And I know my son loves me. I know my son loves me. And I thank God for him and for my baby girl as well. And I'm sure that's how Tony Snell feels about his son. So I want to say shout out to Tony Snell, his wife, and all of his family. And I also want to say shout out to all y'all real ones out there. This concludes episode 157 of the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game. Put it on some. Make sure you share this, hit that subscribe button, put all your people on it. Okay. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I hope all the dads out there had a marvelous Father's Day weekend. Okay. As always, one.
Thank you so much for watching my daddy's YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and turn on your post notifications. Okay, how do I do it?